I think we can all agree that the Lego Movie is a really well-made movie. It's well acted, it's well animated, it's well written, and it's really, really funny. It's probably one of, if not the best non-Disney or Pixar animated movies of the decade. However, I do feel like that the success of the Lego Movie has caused many people to disregard the quality of two other movies that are also made by Lego, namely 2017's Lego Batman movie and Lego Ninjago movie from the same year. Because even though these two movies aren't trying to continue or retell the story of the Lego movie, people still seem to compare them with the 2014 animated movie instead of judging them on their own. When it comes to the original Lego movie, people seem to have a general reaction. They say that it's competently made, and the only real problem is that the whole Chosen One story has been done to death before this. People often consider this as the best of the Lego movies. Lego Batman, on the other hand, while well liked by audiences because of its clever and funny spin on the classic hero, also seems to be criticized for aiming at a slightly younger audience, and unlike the previous movie, the animation isn't completely comprised of what appear to be Lego pieces and uses realistic effects like water and mist. Lego Ninjago, however, seems to be criticized for having a weak first act, some overdone characters, animation that again isn't 100% Lego, and having little to do with the original show it was based on. Now obviously, we're all going to have our own opinions when it comes to story. But I think that it's okay for a story to have a familiar plot as long as the plot is done well or has a lot of twists and turns, or use the plot to the benefit of the character development or the style of the movie. In the case of the Lego movie, the movie uses the Lego universe to its advantage with the story, by implementing master building, a colorful cast of characters, clever threats and motivations for the villain, the list goes on. The Lego movie took this cliched plot and used it to its advantage to make the story more engaging and entertaining. Lego Batman takes the beloved comic relief character from the Lego movie and puts him in a comedic, action-packed adventure where Batman learns that in order to succeed, he needs other people in his life, while also implementing fast-paced comedy and visual gags with Lego and master building from the original Lego movie. Once again, Lego was used properly here. And even though it was different from the TV show that it was based on, Lego Ninjago movie was still a fun-filled adventure with lots of heart, while implementing Lego the same way Lego Batman did. These three movies managed to tell interesting stories while also implementing Lego elements to make the stories more fun. With that said, it's time to talk about the animation. Since the Lego movie takes place in different Lego worlds, which are then revealed to be different Lego sets owned by Will Ferrell, it only makes sense that everything is made out of Lego. The water, the fire, the explosions, the mist, the smoke, and it beautifully implements realistic features like scratches and scars on the pieces. Lego Batman movie almost does the same thing, but the use of realistic water and mist isn't really a deal breaker, and it does make for some really cool shots and moments. However, it's a bit different for the Lego Ninjago movie. Since the elements like fire, water, earth, and green play a great role in the story, it only makes sense that the actual elements look realistic in the film. Let's face it would look actually more awkward if the elements were actually Lego pieces. It would be like if in Toy Story Andy was also like a doll of a human. The animators also used a lot of new tricks and techniques for the animation. For example, when a character is kneeling or rolling or something, they use actual Lego pieces to make it look like they're moving. This technique wasn't done in the Lego movie, and it's a great improvement to make the animation look more smooth. While I really enjoy the Lego movie, there is still one thing that the other two movies really excel at, and that's the morals of the stories. While Emmett's character arc was to learn to become more creative, in the execution it only really gets really effective when it ties to President Business's character arc at the end of the movie. Because as revealed towards the end of the movie, President Business was just a Lego representation of Will Ferrell, and Emmett was the Lego representation of Finn, Will Ferrell's son. While that part of the movie is the most emotionally effective part, in my opinion, the other two Lego movies handled the heart of their stories a lot better. While the encouragement of creativity was there throughout the whole movie, the emotional parts of the movie are only really shown towards the end, via the father-son relationship between Finn and Will Ferrell. But the other two movies do the same thing in a much more different way. In Batman's case, the movie uses the theme of teamwork, not just for its moral, about working with others, but also to make the relationship between Batman and his friends and family more effective. You can see what the movie is going for, but it's done effectively. Instead of elaborating on one thing and then suddenly combining it with another thing. I'm not saying that what the Lego movie did was bad, in fact, far from it. It's just that these two other movies seem to have a bit more focus with what they're doing. Same thing goes for the Lego Ninjago movie. In the beginning, it's established that Lloyd is angered by the fact that his father is a tyrannical overlord, but comes to terms with the fact that sometimes the apple does fall far from the tree, and Garmadon realizing that he doesn't have to be a tyrannical overlord. In a way, it's kind of similar to the Lego movie, with the main difference being that instead of the heart and the moral being tied together, instead they are one, and so it makes the message a lot more stronger. At least, in my opinion, that is. I guess what I'm trying to say is that all three of these movies are competently made. It's just that what the Lego movie did right altered the expectations of people towards the other two movies. These movies should be judged on their own merits and how well they do what they're trying to do. Because at the end of the day, isn't the whole point of watching a movie to enjoy yourself? Learn something? Feel something? Because if a movie does what it's trying to do in a clever, funny, emotional way, then everything will truly be awesome. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.